The world-famous golfer and Olympic gold medal winner Phil Mickelson is not new to dealing with controversies in the eye of the public. His grudge and opinion regarding the PGA Tour have been in front of the public for quite some time now. However, Mickelson has been trying to avoid getting into trouble and keeping his thoughts to himself lately, but his golf organization keeps making a lot of changes that ought to make anyone have a reaction. Now, another golfer, Xander Schauffele, is sharing his perspective on this matter. Phil Mickelson found himself in yet another scandal a few months back when he was accused of being greedy and instigating a huge conflict after he defected to LIV Golf. The entire public was shocked at this as Mickelson told everyone how the PGA Tour was illegally holding the money of all the golf players involved. Mickelson had to deal with a multi-year suspension from the PGA Tour. Mickelson transferred to LIV Golf and publicly shared his opinion on this transformation, saying that he believed that the PGA Tour was not paying the players what they deserved and suddenly had the money to fund increased salaries for their players. The public noticed this change because it seemed like the PGA Tour was willing to accept all of Mickelson's demands, but only after he had left and called them out in the public. This huge news must have struck a nerve, as many people believe that the only reason why LIV Golf was amid so much controversy in the golf world was that they offered to pay Mickelson more money and he went after the prize money. But after the recent move by PGA Tour, the public is wondering if Mickelson was right all along. Let's see what his fellow golfers had to say about this. Everyone knows that Xander Schauffele and Phil Mickelson have been close buddies in the past as they share a special relationship. They have played and practiced together for years, and Mickelson is one of the mentors of Schauffele. Knowing how close the bond between these two golf players was, people wanted to know what Xander thought when a fight broke loose between Mickelson and the PGA Tour. This must have been quite stressful for Schauffele, as he was dealing with a lot of tension as he was part of the PGA Tour and had a close relationship with Mickelson. Fans wanted to know what he thought of this controversy and whether he held the same belief that the tour was not paying their players a deserving salary. The choice to make a public statement about this matter must have been really difficult for Schauffele, but regardless, he shared his thoughts about the ongoing conflict. Now, you have to know the position of Xander Schauffele, as he's one of the few golfers who've had a good and stable relationship with Phil Mickelson and the PGA Tour. He owes his career to both of them, and Mickelson mentored him and helped him shape his career. On the other hand, the tour is quite important for Schauffele's career as well. The entire public was anticipating how Schauffele was going to react because to any third person, it's obvious that this is not an easy choice to make. So does Xander Schauffele think that Phil Mickelson is right or wrong? Instead of adding fuel to the ongoing fire and making any controversial statements, Schauffele had a smart approach as he gave a pretty balanced point of view about the situation. He spoke to the public and asked them to consider the perspective of Phil Mickelson and why he felt that the golf players were being exploited. Schauffele said that he's disappointed and upset over the fact that Mickelson was not able to share his opinion in a way that could be understood by the public. The European Golf Tour winner Xander Schauffele told the public that he doesn't think that the demands made by his close pal Phil Mickelson were unrealistic in any way. The golfer believes that his mentor had the right intentions but couldn't get the point across. Mickelson ended up diverting from the point and shared some unsavory remarks about the PGA Tour because he got carried away. Schauffele believes that there was a way to deal with this problem without turning it into a conflict. However, many people seem to think that it was a bad move on the PGA Tour's part because they could have very well listened to Mickelson, because it's never a bad idea to listen to what your top players want. Why would the PGA Tour wait until Mickelson had left to increase the salaries of all the players when it was all he wanted? Xander Schauffele said that he's upset that his former mentor is not going to play in this new and improved era of the PGA Tour. Schauffele reacted to the recent changes made and said that Mickelson should have been a part of this because this is what he was fighting for. All the statements made by Mickelson were off record and taken out of context, and he really didn't mean to throw any shade towards his former golf organization. Schauffele reacted to Mickelson's new move towards LIV Golf and said that Phil is one of the greatest players ever, and he wanted the tour to make drastic changes and knew it was going to cost a lot. Mickelson made the choice he wanted to, and no matter what the public thinks, Mickelson will always be a staple of golf on the PGA Tour and all around the world. So, Xander Schauffele respects the decision made by Phil Mickelson and does not hold a grudge against him for doing what he did. Mickelson's golfing skills are unmatched in this world, and his demands were not too far off. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel as we cover more golf news.